Hello, I am here at Boise Rock School with Boise Rock School program coordinator Bri Moore. And today I'm going to ask her a few questions about music related stuff. So, Bri, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and the first question I want to ask you is what were some awesome concerts you attended?
Ooh, um, I think one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to was an artist from Australia called Tosh Sultana. Went and saw her in Salt Lake at their rose garden, and it was just a beautiful scenery, and the music was amazing. It was awesome.
Great. All right, next question. How do you listen to music, like on a cassette, CD, vinyl, etc.?
I would say my primary way of listening to music is probably through my phone, like with headphones, or hooking it up to the speaker. But I do also listen to a lot of vinyl.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, next question. What was the clothing of the era like?
Ooh. Let's see. Any era or like the era that I was going to like the most concerts?
You can pick between the two.
Okay, I'll do the era of like when I was going to the most concerts. I would say that there was like a lot of flannel, like ripped denim shorts, leather jackets. Yeah,
All right, next question. Did you like the same music as everyone else?
I think so. At least with like my friends who we were all attending together. I would say that we definitely liked the same type of music and genre of music.
Cool. What did your parents think of their musical taste back then?
Oh, my dad was a big concert goer back when he was younger, and he was really big into like the '80s like metal scene. And yeah, he was a huge fan. I think that he would go to concerts with like his best friend and his brother. Yeah.
What song or artist meant the most to you growing up and why?
Oh, that's a great question. I think for me, it would probably be Manic Monday by the Bangles. That was a song where, my dad would pick me up from elementary school on Fridays in his Corvette, and we would always blast Manic Monday. So it brings a lot of good memories for me.
Really good. All right. Was there a particular song that reminded you of a major life event, like a breakup, a party, or a road trip?
Um, yeah, I think that Mr. Brightside by the Killers. When I was going to college, that was like one of our favorite songs, and so we were always blasting that song and singing along to it. So that would probably be that song for me.
Very fun. Did you ever make mixtapes or playlists for friends or crushes? What kind of songs were on them?
Yes, I made a lot of like CDs, burned a lot of CDs for friends. A lot of the music that was on there were like just my favorite songs at the time that I thought that they would like. A lot of let's see, at that time I was probably really into Peter Bjorn and John, and a lot of like indie rock. Yeah.
Good. What was it like going to a record store back then?
Yeah, it was always so fun. It was like for me that was like walking into a candy shop, just being able to walk down the aisles. I love going to the record exchange especially when I was like in high school and just browsing to see what they had and discovering new artists and yeah.
Cool. Do you remember saving up for an album or a single that you just had to own?
Yeah, let's see. I think for me, that was probably Haim's first album. It came out in 2013. I'm trying to remember the album name. I'm pretty sure it's Days Are Gone. They have been one of my favorite bands for so long, still are one of my favorite bands. And they're a huge inspiration to like my musical like playing currently too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was there ever a music video that blew your mind the first time you saw it?
Yes. I'm trying to think of the song name. It's a Jamiroquai video. Oh, I wish I could remember the name. But yes, it just blew my mind. It's like from the 90s, so it had that, 90s music video aesthetic. But what was cool about it was everything's kind of moving in the scene and it's all seamless. But I found out that it was actually like a shipping container that they were in, and they were moving the shipping container externally to show that everybody moving inside of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who are the fashion icons tied to the music scene during your youth, and did people try to copy their style?
Ooh, yeah, I definitely with people trying to copy their style. I would say like the icons were probably um, Lady Gaga is one that stands out from when I was like in junior high and high school. Uh, I had lots of friends who were big fans of her. Yeah.
Did music influence how you dressed, the people you hung out with, or what you believed in?
I think it definitely influenced how I dressed and the people that I surrounded myself with. Music has always been such an important part of my life, and so I really valued friendships where they also saw music as a really important thing in their life. So those friendships, really surrounded around going to the record store, or going to concerts or festivals. Yeah, it was definitely something that me and my friends bonded over.
Nice. Were there any rebellious trends connected to the music, like protest songs or controversial artists?
I'm sure there were. Let's see if I can think of anything off the top of my head. This was probably when I was like younger, not so much like in high school, but junior high. But I really liked Rage Against the Machine, and they were definitely like a controversial band at the time. And I would have to listen to it in my room quietly because my parents did not want me listening to Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, they can be pretty loud.
Yeah, definitely.
Did music ever cause tension in your house, like volume, lyrics, artists your parents disapprove of?
I think definitely with the lyrics, my parents were pretty cool about letting us listen to, kind of whatever we wanted to listen to, but as long as the content was appropriate and the language was appropriate. Yeah.
How do you think the way people experience music has changed from your era to now?
Yeah, I think the way that people discover new music is kind of totally different nowadays than it was when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was whatever you hear on the radio, or if you go over to a friend's house and whatever CDs they're listening to, or if a friend of mine burned a CD, that's where I got a lot of my new music. Whereas nowadays, if you have like a Spotify account, they are creating like a new music playlist for you like every week. So it's definitely made discovering music more accessible by having it on streaming platforms, I think, and YouTube and all that.
Well, cool. Thanks again for joining me, Bri. I appreciate your time, and thank you again for sharing all your music stuff with me today.
Yeah, thank you so much, James. It was fun.